COVID was a really boring time in my life, so I had to find ways to make it more interesting. One of those consisted of hanging out with my neighbors. I had one neighbor, let's call him B, and I had this other house of neighbors, let's just call it the cool house. Now, the cool house was the hangout spot of the neighborhood. There was a trampoline in the backyard, there was lots of video games, there was lots of board games. So me and B were really good friends, and then in the cool house, the kids there, we were kind of more friends. You know, we were decent friends, but still it was just kind of a neighborhood friendship. So I was hanging out with B one day, and I'm like, hey, let's go do something fun. Obviously, there's not too much to do, so let's go to the cool house and, you know, maybe bounce on the trampoline, play some games, and see what's up. So we went over there, and, you know, we like to be respectful, so we were like, we said to the cool house dad, we were like, hey, how are you? And he's like, good, you guys want to play a board game? Because he loved board games. And so I was like, sure, okay, we'll play a board game, you know, we're not really doing anything else, why not? Go to play this board game, I don't remember what it was something weird, like some kind of roll the dice, move a bunch of characters, not important, right? But we're playing this board game, and there's a lot of pieces in the game, that is important. And Mr. Cool, the dad of the house, knocks one of these pieces over, right? And I want you to keep in mind something very important. Mr. Cool had been sitting down the entire time. When we walked in, he said, hey, do you guys want to play this game? And he beckoned us over to play with him. So as we're playing, he knocks over one of these pieces off the table, and he says to my friend B, hey, B, can you pick that piece up for me? So B, being a great kid, does. He leans under the table, he picks up the piece, and he comes back up, stone-faced. He looks at me with this blank expression and just continues to play the game. Now, I was really weird. I was like, what? Why is he giving me this weird look? But we finish the game, and eventually we just leave. This entire time, B is just looking at the ground, like just looking weird, just looking off. And he says to me as we get out of the house, he wasn't wearing any pants. And I thought back to it. I did see him wearing a really big oversized t-shirt, and I never saw him get up from the table. And B said to me that when he went down under the table, he happened to glance up, bright room, and he saw everything. All that the cool house dad had been wearing was a big t-shirt. So we got exposed to it all. And then we left the house and never came back.